Hello, I'm Charles Gervais, Australasia's passion provocateur. Welcome to this week's episode of the Charles Gervais Show, whether you're watching on Rumble or YouTube or listening via one of the many podcasting platforms. I'll discuss one or two crucial issues that have been exercising my mind that I think will be of value to you, particularly at this time of the year where you don't want too many business issues. We're coming up to Christmas. I explore with these issues the principles of the self-awareness and passion quest that will help you explore these matters and help you apply the principles to improve your life in whatever way you want to improve it. The exciting thing is that each one of us can improve our lives. I will also share resources that I think could be helpful for you in dealing with the issues we're talking about. The show notes give you links to my background and the foundational principles of this show. They also give you links to our websites, charlescoves.com and coves.com, where you can find my books, details of my speeches, programs, and the self-awareness and Passion Quest, which is a one-on-one executive coaching program. Both sites have a wide range of resources that you will find helpful in solving whatever problem you want to solve. Now, remember my definition of passion at this time of Christmas. And I explore this in my books, Passionate People Produce and Passionate Performance. Passion, this is my own definition. Passion is a source of unlimited energy from your soul, your spirit, your heart that enables you to produce extraordinary results, extraordinary results. Because most people aren't passionate. And what I urge you to do in having any interaction with me is to constantly explore what you are truly passionate about, because that's when you will produce extraordinary results. Now, one thing that I'm passionate about, as many of you know, regular viewers, listeners, is coffee. Love it. So let's go with this week's topic. I want to explore reality. I want to explore, as we come up to the Christmas New Year period, what is reality and what is your reality and how do you create your reality? Because one of my core principles is that I create my reality. You create your reality. And yet people say to you, be realistic. You can't create your reality. Be realistic. What does it mean to be realistic? Well, people say, well, you've got to behave in accordance with reality. Be realistic means that the laws of gravity apply to you. If you jump off the roof of your building, you will fall down. That's reality. But what else is realistic? Water flows downhill. Again, that's a function of gravity. The moon rotates around the earth every 28 days. That's reality. It's true. It's real. Something that's true, something that's real. That's what reality is. But there are many things that are not black and white and true. For example, are you beautiful? Are you attractive? So I think a way to help you explore how you are creating your reality and how you can change your reality is this process I'm going to share with you. And because it's a little bit quieter over Christmas, New Year, you'll have time to ponder these matters, ponder the principles that I'm sharing with you, and then apply those that are relevant to the journey that you want to go on. I'm going to ask you 9 questions. And your answers will give you insights into what you think is real, what you think is true. And then I'll unpack what it means if you have different answers to these questions. So here are the 9 questions. I'll run through them pretty quickly, and then I'll come back and unpack them. Number 1, Are most people kind or unkind? Question 2. What do the people who know you think about you? Number 3. Do you know of people who have become rich who were once very poor? Question 4. Do you believe what your country's government tells you? Question 5. Do you believe that what you eat has a big impact on your health and your thinking? Question 6. Do you believe you need to be rich to be a success? Question 7. At what age do you expect to die, barring accidents? Question 8. Do you believe the world is dangerous? Question 9. How concerned are you about looking good and being admired? 9 pretty simple questions. Well, let's go back to them. Question 1. Are most people kind or unkind? Well, if you believe they're unkind, that will drive your reality about how you interpret their behaviour. If you believe most people are kind, then you will expect kindness. You won't be defensive. It will dictate how you answer questions, how you interact with another human being. And think as you at the supermarket, are they kind or unkind? I ask taxi drivers this question: what percentage of your customers are dickheads? And I ask people, what do you think the taxi drivers answer? And most people say, 30% are dickheads. No, less than 2%. Most people with taxi drivers behave very reasonably. So the answer to this question puts you into a defensive or non-defensive situation and then drives your responses. Second question. What do the people who know you think about you? Think about all of the people who know you. Do they all think the same thing? What is the truth about who you are? And the interaction that you've had with these people, you could line up these people who know you. They would say different things about you in many cases. You go, wow, what's real? What's true? And you can choose. You can choose to say, hey, I'm the person that Julie thinks that I am. And then that becomes your reality. That becomes what you think about yourself. And then that then drives your responses to any given situation, the actions and the behaviors that you choose to take. Question 3. Do you know of people who have become rich who were once very poor? The point of this question is, if you believe that you are trapped in your past existing set of circumstances and you cannot get out, it's like quicksand, you will be. Because if you believe that people who are poor will always be poor and you're poor, then that's the reality that you create. And on the other hand, by answering this question, you go, yeah, you know a few people, and it might be difficult to go from poor to very rich. But the answer to this question then helps you go, okay, it's possible. I've been thinking that I'm trapped in this. No, you're not. You can shift that. Question 4. And I could spend 10 minutes on each of these. I don't want to spend that much time because I know you haven't got the time to watch or listen to all this. I want to provoke you with alternative answers so that you become more and more aware of how you are answering any particular question and understand that that's what drives your experience of life, your reality. Question 4. Do you believe what your national government says, what it publishes, what the government ministers say? If you do, that leads you down a certain path of action. If you believe that very little of what they say is true, then that will lead to different decision-making, different thought processes, different actions that you take. And then, you might say, well, I don't believe much of what they say at all. then other people will prove to you, hey, sometimes sometimes they speak the truth, or other times, if you simply adopt and believe whatever government says, I can rely on government, you then start to go, is there evidence that they don't tell the truth? Then you start to go, have I been slavishly driven by government advice about economic times, so that has been driving my decision making? No, it's too risky to make a decision now because the government says inflation is up and economic circumstances are down. I have been through recessions and recessions, really, not depressions, and a number of times in my business life, they've never once impacted on me. And I know a lot of people that they haven't impacted on. There are those that have, but your belief around this drives how you think and therefore how you act. Question 5. Do you believe that what you eat has a big impact on your health and on your thinking? You probably know that I certainly believe this is a huge factor in your health. If you haven't been paying sufficient attention to what you put into your body, that single change in your behavior, that will change your reality enormously, including your ability to think clearly. I think a lot of people are suffering from brain fog, and your brain uses the most energy of any part of your body. And if you are putting poor fuel into your body, that is having a big impact on how you think. Change that fuel, because you've adopted this new idea, or I've reminded you of it. Hey, get serious about clarity on your belief around what you eat, and then you start to think different, and then what's real, what's possible, what's true will shift for you. Question 6. Do you believe you need to be rich to be successful? What do you think is success? I have read many autobiographies over the years, and most successful people drink coffee. That's what I reckon anyway. There are so many people who have led amazingly successful lives who never became rich. And your perspective on this issue is that success requires to be rich, then leads you down a particular path. My definition of success, I've mentioned it in previous shows, but it's okay. We need repetition to be reminded. And I'm always grateful when I'm listening to other podcasts. Go, oh, yes, that's what they said before. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. When you decide what your worthy ideal is, you feel successful. And my proposition to you is that you don't have to be rich to be successful. It's comfortable to be rich, but who do you have to become if you're going to become rich? Who do you want to become? And that's what this show is about, as well. Clearly, the self-awareness and passion quest is to go, gosh, who do I want to become? Who am I really? Who have I been indoctrinated to become? And that's what's been driving my reality. And I'm going to create a new reality over this Christmas New Year period. Question 7. At what age do you expect to die, barring accidents? I exclude accidents because accidents can happen any time, but in your heart of hearts, you will have an answer to this question. And that very much dictates your reality, your decision-making, your actions. Because if you believe you're going to die at 75 and you're now 65, that's a totally different set of behaviours compared to me, and I expect to live well past 100 years of age. So you start to think about, why do I think I'm going to die at 75? Where did that idea come from? And if you're going to live to 95, you've got another 20 years, that shifts your whole experience of everything that you look at. Because if you think you've only got 10 years to go, you will make different decisions, create a different reality than if you've got 30 years to live. Question 8. Do you believe the world is dangerous? Or to what extent do you believe the world is dangerous? How dangerous is it? People who think the world is dangerous will be in a very defensive, protective position. I don't think that's how you become all you are capable of becoming. And your answer to this question, when you start to go, well, how many people actually die in accidents? It's a pretty small number. And you start to go, gosh, have I been trapped in going down a narrow pathway because I thought the world is too dangerous? And the last question, how concerned are you about looking good and being admired? When do you look good? And who admires you? Comes back to this first question. So, second question, what do the people who know you think about you? Are you concerned about looking good to these people or being admired by these people? Are you meant to be pursuing what you want to pursue, or have you been too concerned about being admired by other people? And bear in mind that each one of us has a different assessment of what looks good and what is admirable. And if you are too concerned about this from other people's perspective, then you cease to be on your own journey. My message to you is that the answers to key questions in life, 9 of which I've shared with you, will determine how you experience life, what you think is true, what you think is real, what you think is realistic. And that's how we create our reality. Answers to crucial questions create a new reality. I invite you to think about over the Christmas New Year period, what do I believe about this life that we're living? What do I believe about these crucial questions? What are questions that trap me in stopping myself from becoming all that I'm capable of becoming? A useful resource for the thinking about these slight changes to answers, and you make a slight change to 2 or 3 of the answers to these questions. In 6 months' time, you can be in a totally different place. Just like if you're on a bicycle or a plane and you're traveling for 10 hours, if you're 1 or 2 degrees off the target you thought you were going at, you'll be in a totally different place. Similarly with your life, the reality of your life. This book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is a very popular book, and it has some excellent principles in it. Tiny changes can create remarkable results. And my promise to you is you will have a remarkably different life if you tweak the answers to some key questions in your life, if you change your reality, and I assure you, you are capable of doing so. So, I hope today's show makes a beneficial difference to your life and the way you think about your life. Christmas is a wonderful time. I love Christmas. I love the reduction of pressure. I believe Christmas is about Christ. And the new year is also a wonderful opportunity to rejuvenate, to think about the habits that we have and the behaviours that we need to get different results compared to what we have been getting. If you're new to the show, check the show notes to get more details about my background and the foundational principles of the show. I hope you get more presents than you deserve. Each year, I hope I get more presents for Christmas than I deserve. And I will have a bit of a break, but Julie and I will work through why, because we're both passionate about what we are doing. And when you are passionate, and passion is a source of unlimited energy, you don't need such a break. I don't yearn for a break to get away from it. I love what I do. Julie loves what she does. It's a great way to live life. I urge you to find a way that you can do that. Again, thanks for watching or listening. And until our next show, which will be the first show for 2025, may your week, may your Christmas and your New Year be full of passion, of joy, of ever-increasing self-awareness, and the lighting of a fire of desire for you to continue your learning and development so that you become all that you are capable of becoming. Have a great time. See you soon. Bye.